Sometimes you gotta swallow your pride and you gotta admit when you were wrong. I was wrong. Uh, I saw Whistling Diesel get arrested and I was super excited because I still think he's arrogant and cocky and I still think he's mildly annoying. But I do not hope that they throw the book at him now. He put out a video explaining the situation a little more in depth. And now I understand that Whistling Diesel, Cody, we're going to call him Cody because that's his name. We're going to call him Cody now, just to for the sake of, because I don't want to say Whistling Diesel 800 times. Cody is a victim of corrupt government. Not something I realized, and so to Cody, if you see this, I apologize. I was wrong. I should have waited, but I apologize. I am actually sorry for saying that I hope they throw the book at you when I didn't know what the whole story was, and now that I know the whole story, I'm actually rooting for you because understanding what they're doing is completely wrong. If everything you say is true, which, based off the video we're going to get into in a minute, I have no reason to believe it's not. I 100% hope that Cody succeeds in what he's doing. So we're going to get into that. But before we do, I just want to remind everyone it's a daily show. Also, Wednesday night might be the last show. Tomorrow night might be the last show. We might do something on Wednesday night if there's anything good going on. If not, it'll probably be Tuesday night and then hanging out with the family for Thanksgiving. So let's get into it without further ado, because I actually enjoy when I'm wrong, and I want to get into it and tell you all why I was wrong. So let's listen to Cody explain the situation.
Hello everyone. A lot of my videos are very fun and lighthearted, so I joke around a lot and that's my personality, but this video is different. Everything in this video is 100% real that I'm going to talk about. It actually happened and I'm not joking around. So a few days ago, I was at work, working at my shop, and my guys come up to me and they're like, hey, there's like 6 cops coming down the driveway, and they're confused. I'm like, right, good one, guys. They're gonna prank me. So I walk outside and right away they say, Mr. Detweiler, put your hands behind your back. And I'm like, is this a joke?
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, that's me. Take hands there. No. Is there a reason why?
Is this a joke?
They arrest me without at this point telling me why. I still have zero clue. I'm very cooperative, very cooperative. I'm looking at my guys like, is something going on here? And obviously they have no clue what's going on either. So these cops have walked down my whole driveway. My gate was shut, so they couldn't get in. They walked all the way down. And after like 2 minutes of us asking why, and one of them tightening the handcuffs until they wouldn't go anymore,
I do want to point out there's a little bit of the, oh, they were kind of mean. The handcuffs were too. There's a little bit of that, a little bit of the feel bad for me thing. The important part is what he claims is going on is just blatant theft.
show us a piece of paper that says this is a warrant for tax evasion.
What is this for?
This is for tax evasion.
And right away, I'm like, tax evasion? Because I've paid nearly dollars to the IRS and state. I've paid.
Okay, so he's probably got that censored for legal reasons. In the past, he said it's near $1 million, if not more than $1 million in taxes. He probably can't say that for legal reasons, but the dude, if he's being honest about how much he's paid in taxes, has paid more than fucking enough.
All my taxes. It might look like what we do is illegal and sketchy, but I do everything within legal parameters. So we're very careful to pay our taxes. I have a great accountant that keeps track of everything. There was some word spreading around that I don't pay my taxes. I pay I pay a lot more than what I should probably, actually. I think I'll go through this after and look at what I've been paying to make sure it's not too much. Nonetheless, I'm like, okay, the handcuffs are tight enough. And he keeps tightening them, like squeezing them tighter, like I'm gonna run. I was very cooperative. None of us did anything disrespectful.
I will give him that. He was cooperative, like from the get. He pulled his hands out of his pockets and was like, "I'm not reaching for nothing." Like he was very cooperative. I'll give him that. I really think I was really wrong here, and I actually think he's being wronged by the state.
Respectful whatsoever. But we filmed it, right, because it's for our protection as well. Just as they have a body cam, this is America, people are on camera. And they're on my property as well. So they have a warrant for tax evasion. Of course, I have no clue what this is for. They won't explain why. I had not gotten a letter, a text, an email, a notice in the mail. Nobody got the slightest bit of notice what this could have been for. And I didn't even find out for several days after I was arrested. So yeah, we have everything on camera. I'll play the video here so you guys can be caught up and see what happened.
Yo, what's up?
So this is the whole encounter.
What's this for?
I don't know. Is there a reason why?
Is this a joke?
No, at least you guys are agents with the state of on it.
Okay.
Here we go.
What's that? No,
Yeah, like immediately
no, it's not.
cooperative and respectful, which my bias
What's the paper? Is that the
was,
warrant?
was
Yeah.
probably
Well, he has a warrant.
I
This
know,
is
right
a
here.
criminal summons
Okay.
out of circuit court.
What is this for?
This is for tax evasion.
Okay.
Can I see that?
Who are you?
The COO of the company.
Is that what this whole thing is for?
Taylor,
Tax?
give him his copy. If he wants to give it to this guy, that's cool. 401. Are you cool with him accepting that on your?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's what this is about.
The sheriff's department has this for the company, Whistling Diesel or whatever your company is called, but the state agents have warrants for you individually.
Oh, so there's other stuff.
Yeah.
So they went after not just Cody personally, they went after his company as well. Whistling Diesel LLC or whatever it's actually called, whatever his actual company name is. This does seem kind of targeted now, and that's something that he touches base on. That this might have been setting an example, and I think that you might be onto something there.
But it's
It's
same
both-
stuff.
It's both
but
tax. Oh, okay.
it's for
On
you
you
as an
and the
individual
LLC.
and the LLC.
Okay, the cuffs are tight enough. Are you unlocking those or tying them up?
I'm tightening. I'm putting them where they won't tighten anymore.
Okay.
Lock them
is
so they don't
this a
play.
joke? Are you
No,
guys?
it's not a
know.
joke at all. This is legitimate.
I just
What-
paid
and
like dollars to IRS. So.
This is state, not federal.
Oh, just say it.
State, yes.
This is county, and it's from Williams County. That's what we're serving. They're with the state. They're serving something completely different.
So the summons is from the county. The tax evasion charge is from the state. So it's a state tax evasion, allegedly. We'll get into that.
We're just
Wait,
escorting
what's
them up
the
there.
completely different one?
No, it's the same.
Or
case, but-
they're both tax evasion.
Yeah, it's tax evasion. It's for you personally and for the company.
Okay.
The Department of Revenue.
Not federal.
But no, state.
It's all state.
The Tennessee Department of Revenue got indictments against you as an individual and the LLC.
Not sure what this is for, but they say it's tax evasion. I just paid like dollars to IRS in the last 2 years, so we've made regular payments. So I'm not sure what this is about. So we'll see what it's for.
Mr. Detweiler, what this is it's state, not federal.
Okay, right.
So it has nothing to do with the
I
IRS.
see.
You have a bond that was set by the judge at $20,000. Okay.
Have they tried contacting me about?
So that's another thing I wanted to touch base on. I think I said the bond was $2 million. It's 20 grand. That's probably not a whole lot of money to someone in his position. However, for your average Joe like you or me, 20 grand is a lot of fucking money. I also want to point out they keep emphasizing this is state. This is state. This is a state issue. The fact that he's sitting here saying, like, I got an accountant that pays all this on schedule to the IRS, I would assume that his accountant is paying the state also.
This because I
No.
haven't.
They contacted us today and asked us to come out here and assist them with serving the warrant,
So
which
this
is
is
why
for
the
20.
sheriff's office is
So this is
here.
for 20 grand.
No, the bond is 20 grand.
Oh, I see.
I don't know what the amount
So that
is.
you could be out in the next few hours, just according to how quick the jail can get you processed.
see.
Okay, where's he going now?
Williamson County Jail on Century Court.
4 weeks.
No,
I mean, you guys
it's
can
408
all the way
Century
to
Court.
the road.
Just meet him
Yeah,
there.
You want someone to open the gate and you pull up?
It'll take a few
All
hours.
right. You just walk
Okay.
with us, I guess.
Get our steps in for the day.
And then there he offers.
All right, this
something
is my
to me, which-
first actual arrest, I guess.
Again,
We walk all the way back up my driveway. I was like, I'll give you guys the gate code and you can bring your cars down and pick me up. We can make this so convenient for everybody.
I'll give you all the gate code if you want to just drive in next time, though. I mean, is this why the helicopter was over our place?
No,
All right.
we should have brought the helicopter.
You should have.
You guys have like accountants and attorneys and stuff, like it should be squared away. I don't know. This is really unexpected.
The most money we've spent is on taxes. So yeah, all taxes are paid in full.
I make monthly payments from my accountant, like probably dollars a year for taxes. So we'll see what it's about, unless those haven't been getting made. But very interesting. I have no clue what it's for. So I guess I'm going to jail. I got the cuffs and everything. The cuffs are on my wrist.
And it's not a prank.
Can I get the Bluetooth or something to this? Joe Tyler.
Yeah. See you, man.
I swear, this is some.
Hi, Cody.
He didn't always say he wanted to go to jail. He literally said that like 2 weeks ago.
What?
I'm being very cooperative and chill. And I know some people at the sheriff's office, like we're friends. I let them hunt on my property. So I was quite taken aback that no one was talking to us or communicating to us. I'm a very, in real life, I'm a very chill person. Like I'll joke around and have fun. I was being very respectful. I'm like in my Christmas sweater. I'm just chilling. And all my guys are like so confused. Like they think I've done something terrible. They're like, what did Cody do? And I'm like, what did I do? I had no clue what I did. And so I thought, I was like, are they pinning me for like a murder? I was like actually worried it was something like crazy. And they're like, oh, tax evasion. I'm like, okay. They sent me an unmarked car. They say, hey, the bail is 20 grand. There was a lot of word spreading around that it was 2 million. They left out the comma in the period. That's how fast the media can spread something false. I thought it was funny though. They were much more polite at the sheriff's station, but they had the handcuffs like so tight I could not move my hands. They must have thought I was gonna fight back, considering they saw the tank and the killdozer when they were walking in. They were probably quite concerned, actually. I'm being booked into jail. Some of them are fans there. They're like laughing, like, what is he doing in here? And they're like, I heard like, oh, I've never seen that one before, tax evasion. I fill out some paperwork saying I'm not suicidal and all this. I go into a jail cell. There's a guy next door banging on the walls and screaming bloody murder and like clawing his way.
okay, and again, like I said, there's a little bit of like, oh, feel bad for me. This happened to me. It was terrible, and that's what this is. But when he gets into the more detailed minutia, I really believe that he was wronged here. And when he says, I have friends in the sheriff's office, like, it's weird that no one said anything. That kind of leads to his point that, like, this might have been more than he thought it was.
Out. I'm like, am I going to be in there with that guy? Because I will fight him if I have to. And they put me in my own cell, so that was nice. They put me in my own jail cell, and I was expecting, I know we're getting off track here, I was expecting.
They also put Heavy D Sparks in his own cell. I think that's something they do with celebrities just for their safety. I could definitely understand some people in jail that might be a little pent up and be like, oh, I hate Whistling Diesel. Now's my chance, I could definitely understand. They probably did that just out of caution.
Jail to be a lot worse, I'll tell you that. I'm moving out of this to save some money because I have some other expenses not related to this whole thing. Maybe Bugatti. And the space I'm moving into is actually smaller than what the jail cell was. And I was like, this has a bathroom, the floors are clean. I took off my orange Crocs and I was in my socks doing squats in there. I was weightlifting in my jail cell. And I was in there for maybe 2 hours. My friends got me out. I love my team. They helped me very quickly. Within 3 hours, I was out of jail.
We need $22,000 right now.
Where's that bag of cash?
Nick, do you have any cash on you?
I got like $6.
I think
Jay, how much cash do you have on you?
I got an empty gum pack. I got 25.
God, this is
Oh my gosh.
silliness.
We don't have any money to bail Cody out. He's gonna be in there for like 5 months.
All right, so this is just silliness going on. I don't know. The fact they had cash on hand was kind of weird. I mean,
All right, so we're here to bail
I guess I
Cody
would,
out.
just in
and
case.
We came prepared. Not sure how much his bail is, but hopefully this is enough. Yeah, I need to bail my buddy out of jail.
Okay, what's his name?
Cody Detweiler.
It's gonna be a few hours.
He's probably not even to jail yet.
Yeah, they got to book him and everything.
Yeah, we're gonna take our sweet time and get lunch, have a couple of drinks, celebrate this, and then be back. Thank you. $20 bond. Insane.
It's not $2 million.
Can you make it $2 million? Thank you so much.
That was brutal.
Brutal.
It's really bad. I might come back tomorrow though. I don't even know what that was about. I still don't know. I have zero clue why I came here. After the first couple days, like it got like really hard for me.
Bond is an amount of money promising that you will go to your court date. If you don't, they keep the money. So the $20,000 is used for that. And of course, we're like, all right, I'm not going to stay in jail for 3 months or 6 or however long this is. The next court date is in January. So I get out of jail, and I was like, I'm not going to post it yet because I don't know all the details yet. I didn't know why. And I was like, I just want to see when people find out. Within 3 hours, it was everywhere. The whole world knew. So you may be wondering what all this is for, why 5 cops showed up my door and arrested me after having a clean record.
Or your millionaire.
This is for
table.
sales tax on one car, my Ferrari, that doesn't exist anymore. It's in a cube because it accidentally caught on fire. Not even in Tennessee, it caught on fire in Texas. That's what this is about.
So this is where it gets interesting. The fact that the car in question was registered in another state. The video of the car was in another state. And Tennessee is saying, we want ours. This is where it gets interesting.
Not a letter, not a notice, not anything saying, hey, you owe the sales tax on this car. Nothing. This is the Montana title, clean title, to my $400,000 Ferrari F8, which sales tax in Tennessee would be roughly $30,000 or something like that. And so this car, this Ferrari, was titled and registered in Montana. I should remind you, 85% of luxury car owners have a business in Montana. There is an option to have a business in Montana that holds your assets, that is not you, it holds your assets in Montana, where you can run business out of, that just so happens to not require sales tax on specifically vehicles or luxury items, especially many luxury car owners have businesses in Montana. Currently, we are asking the state, what is the qualification for the amount of time that that vehicle would be in or operated out of Tennessee? Considering the car burned down in Texas and it was traveling in other states while I owned it. Considering the amount of manpower they sent, the car doesn't exist anymore, the amount of money it's over, and the fact that there's pedophiles on the streets, the fact that there's people out there killing people, and that's quite alarming considering this country's in a desperate position.
I hate when people make this argument, right? It's not like the cops chose to go after him for tax evasion over the pedophile on the street, right? I hate when people make that argument. So I will push back a little bit here. He says, you know, they spent more money coming after me than they're going to get out of me by the time it's all said and done. Yeah, probably. They don't care. And that's why I'm beginning to think that this is a more of a targeting than or we're going to set an example. I think there's probably a lot of people, given, you know, Tennessee is home to Nashville, which is where all the big country singers go, and lots of people live in Tennessee. I think this is an attempt to set the bar, because I bet you, if you look into it, like he was just saying, you can get your cars registered in Montana through an LLC, and you don't have to pay sales tax in Montana on luxury items. I bet you, if you look into it, I bet you all these singers, all these artists, all these people that make a ton of money in Nashville, I bet you they do the same shit. How many people do you think have moved to Nashville, country singers and whatnot, or moved to Tennessee just to be closer to Nashville? Even if they've only lived there for a few years, they have homes there. And then a lot of country singers have bars in Nashville. What are the odds that Tennessee didn't look at this and say, well, we can get Whistling Diesel on this, and look at all these other famous people that are going to fall in line. There's a lot of famous people in Tennessee. What are the odds that they said, I bet you we'll get Luke Bryan and Thomas Rhett and Brantley Gilbert and all these country singers. Now we're going to set the bar. How many cars do you think these guys have registered in Montana under an LLC? So now if they can go after Whistling Diesel, now they can go after anybody who does this. I really do believe this was a targeted, we're going after someone, and I think Whistling Diesel was just the luck of the draw.
To take care of important matters. Sorry, I'm going to try to stay chill. It's actually angering. Like, I'm not mad that this is happening to me. I'm a YouTuber. I'm the best person this could have happened to, frankly, because this would affect a lot of other people. I've been in this position before where a much bigger government entity was coming after me, and I stood my ground. I don't put up with this because, frankly, I know a lot of people that could be in the same position I am in right now, and they might not stand up as well to it. Not to mention the fact that I'm trying to start a family. I have a girlfriend who's Russian, actually. I moved her to Dubai, and as much as everybody likes to think that it's not real love or whatever the narrative is of other people, I'm trying to start a family, and I love my girlfriend, my fiance, actually.
See, that was another thing that kind of piqued my interest. He said, I have a girlfriend, I moved her to Dubai. Terrible operational security, if I'm going to be honest. But if I thought I was in some sort of legal trouble, the first thing I would do is get my family out. I would send them to another country until it was all finished and figured out. Because they don't need to be drug into it. It's my problem, not theirs, so you guys go somewhere safe. I don't think it was a good idea to say that she's in Dubai, but, you know.
And something on my record, like this situation, could perhaps affect my ability to start a family in the country that I was born and raised and obeyed all the laws in, and worked hard and made a lot of money for and supported. So this is a big deal. And I've heard of this happening before in different ways. A state would say, hey, we don't like this. How much is your car in this state? And if it's in here a certain amount of time, you're going to need to pay the sales tax. And tax also, there's an interesting thing. If you're late on your federal or your state taxes, they send you something saying, hey, you owe this. I never got a letter, zero notice that anything like this was going on. There's so many layers to this and aspects to dissect. But of course, I want to do everything fairly. That's why I pay my federal and state tax. I've never been behind. I pay. So
yeah, he makes a fair point. You know, they send you a letter before they do anything. They send you a letter. They say, hey, you owe some money on your taxes. They send you a letter. They don't just come pounding on your door. They're going to send you many letters. They're going to try to get that money back with as little resources as possible, because once they start having to get people to go bother you about it or take you to jail about it, it gets expensive. They just had to pay 6 guys for how much time? Call it an hour. Say those guys make $25 an hour, $30 an hour. They paid 6 dudes $30 an hour to go arrest Whistling Diesel. One of those dudes had to sit there and do all the paperwork and book him and all that. Like, they spent a ton of money just to go get him. Never mind the cost of fuel, the cost of vehicles, all that stuff that they used to go get him. Now, granted, that's stuff they already paid for, but I digress.
The letter saying I owe $30,000 is quite possibly the simplest, fastest thing that could have happened. And frankly, if they're going to do it to me, if they want to play this game with me, there's several million other people they're going to have to play it with. America's a great country. I love it. I love America so much. But America's ran by the people. And as with all things, I think there's a delicate line to balance between the government and the people and what's fair. Obviously, we want roads to drive on. We want nice public amenities, maybe a park or so. We want a police force. We want good police.
Yeah, this is where we start to disagree. This is where Cody and I begin to disagree. I'm kind of at the point, especially after seeing something like this, where do we want police if they're just going to come enforce whatever? I don't know about that. I don't know if there's a better option, but I'm becoming anarchist in my old age.
The police need to be able to defend us. We need a good
Disagree
military.
with that.
I'm not against paying taxes, to be frank. I think the whole taxation is theft. Yeah, it's true up to an extent, but some tax is required to operate the country, right? It can't be privately funded.
So this is another spot where we disagree. I am fully against taxes, and I want to say that we can pay for everything with tariffs. He's not a political guy. It's not something he would get into. I totally understand where he's coming from. From a normie perspective, saying, yeah, everyone needs to pay something because roads. I get it. There's ways that we don't have to pay tax, that we can still fund those things, though. I digress. That's not this video.
The billionaire would run out of money really quickly. A lot of people think Ferrari's mad over this. I think they are. I don't think they would go to that length to try to but maybe. I wouldn't put it past them because they've shredded enthusiasts of Ferrari's replica cars. Someone loves Ferrari, so they build a replica, and Ferrari made a whole point to shred it because they didn't want anyone having a car like them. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them. I'm dying to know who decided that this was worth the time and resources instead of just sending me a letter. I will work with anyone to resolve something in an amicable way. Frankly, it's not worth anybody's time. It's not worth my time. It is. I'm going to make money on this. I mean, it's not worth the...
I also respect that. I'm getting paid, bro. You fucked with me, and now I have 6 months worth of content to make on top of, shorts and things yeah, you kind of didn't accomplish anything here. You fucked with me. Now I'm making money off the fact that you fucked with me, and we're going to fight about it. So I respect that. I respect that he said it. I respect that he calls it out. I respect the maturity here. I really do. I never looked at Whistling Diesel as someone that I would respect. I kind of thought he was a prick, but now I'm kind of... This video gave me some respect for him. So
frankly, the taxes that they're wanting for this, the $30,000 that they want for the sales tax on this car, is probably not even going to come close to covering the money they're spending on me for this, which leads me to think that there's another angle, which I'll get into now. I think they went after me specifically because they think it will make a wave through the car community because I'm a social media influencer in the automotive industry, and when people see this, they're all going to go change their Montana registration to their home state. They're going to go back to Tennessee, and they're going to go be like, oh, well, let's pay all of our sales tax because I'm going to register my car in Tennessee because I don't want to be arrested because I have a wife and kids at home.
And I totally agree with this. I totally agree. But here's the thing, right? So you bought this car in Montana and you registered the car in Montana. How does Tennessee have a claim to sales tax when you didn't buy the car and register it in Tennessee? You already own the vehicle. You're just transferring registration at this point. They can't charge you sales tax if you're just transferring a registration. They can charge you a title fee because you have to get a Tennessee title made, maybe. But they can't. That's not a sale. You're just if I moved to Texas and I wanted to transfer my Jeep title over, I don't have to pay sales tax on my Jeep again. Whatever Tennessee's up to, it's fishy.
And I could go to prison. I don't want to go to prison. Of course I'm going to do that, right? That's why they went after me, I think, because they want to make a wave and they want everybody else because they know that there will be videos. They know that this is going to make it to the news and that everybody's going to cover this. And why would it not scare people into re-registering their vehicles and paying all that sales tax? Crazy thing, this is your own government.
But again, re-registering a vehicle, right? So I own my Mustang. My Mustang's paid in full. I own the car. The car hasn't run in 3 years. The tag is expired. In the state of Ohio, if your license plate is expired for more than a year, you have to buy another license plate. I take my documentation down to the DMV and I say, hey, I need a license plate, and I pay for a license plate. I don't have to pay sales tax on the car again. I already did that. You don't Like, I don't understand how Tennessee is justifying this.
Doing this to you soon. So I think the one very slight oversight that they ignored is that I won't put up with that. That's not how this is going to go. I'm actually in the middle of purchasing property in Montana right now. So I'm actually buying land in Montana, and that is where my business will now be set up. If they didn't stop with me, they won't stop with you. They will come to your door and they will arrest you. And who knows the limit that this could go to, considering this is over
It's 100% right.
one single car that doesn't exist anymore. Imagine what they'll do to you.
Imagine what they would do to a company like Hot Rod Magazine that owns hundreds of cars. And I'm sure Hot Rod Magazine doesn't directly own those cars. Now I know with some of the cars that are on Hot Rod, some of those cars belong to David Freiberger or Mike Finnegan or Lucky Costa. Some of those are their personal vehicles that they use for the show. But the show itself also has cars. And I'm sure they're owned by an asset management firm the same way as Cody's Ferrari. Imagine what they could do to a company as big as Hot Rod Magazine or something like Peterson's Four Wheel and Off Road if you're a Jeep person, or any of these magazines with shows and things like that, where they imagine what they could do to someone like Dave Chappelle from not the comedian, the Dirt Head Shed guy, or Fred Williams from Dirt Every Day. He's now doing his own thing. But like, imagine what they could do to those guys if they're going to go after Whistling Diesel for one car. Imagine what they would do to someone like Fred Williams, who has a backyard full of Jeeps, or David Freiberger, who has cars sitting in storage units that he has forgotten have existed. This is a slippery slope.
If maybe many cars who still exist. That being said, at the moment, I cannot recommend enough. If you are in Tennessee, buy property in Montana. It's a great place to settle down. Buy property in Montana, operate your business out of there. And I will let everybody know as soon as I get updates. I'm going to let everybody know what they say is the minimum requirement that you can have your vehicles in Tennessee if they're registered in Montana. In other words, this is a tractor for all they're concerned. That being said, I cannot recommend Montana enough. I think this is a lovely place to go. I mean, I drove through there. I'm buying land there.
Here's my thing, though, once again. If I own a car, I bought the car, I own it in Ohio. If I move to Tennessee, I already paid my sales tax on the car. Montana doesn't collect sales tax. Tennessee can't say because you live here, you have to pay tax on a vehicle that you bought and registered in another state that you live in or that you have an LLC in. Tennessee has no claim to this money. I didn't realize the extent of what was going on, and I am wrong, and I do apologize directly to Cody for saying that I hope they throw the book at him. I hope you take these motherfuckers all the way down, dude.
There's some very good lawyers that are working on this. I want to smile for everyone who actually reached out, like my friends that I haven't even talked to in a long time who are reaching out like, hey, can we do anything for you? I genuinely appreciate that so much. Like
for the help.
You find out who your friends are, and I realize that. If people want to hate me for other stuff, go for it and give me a hard time. But this affects you. If they went after me without sending a notice for that, there's no telling what they'll do. So I wanted to announce my website is back up. I haven't sold merch in a
yeah, the rest of this is just YouTuber shit. Yeah, I don't understand how at this point Tennessee has any claim to any sort of money because the car wasn't bought in Tennessee. The car was bought in Montana. The car was bought out of state. The car was used and registered out of state. The car was titled out of state. And the video in question was made out of state. There is nothing Tennessee has a claim to. This is complete bullshit. This is something that when I first heard about it, when I first read about it, I thought, oh, good. Whistling Diesel, that cocky asshole, is getting his. Now, the government has gone so far, you've got me standing on my soapbox saying, Whistling Diesel might not be wrong. I honestly believe that what Tennessee is doing is illegal. I don't understand how you can say you owe me taxes for something that didn't happen in this state. That's the same as a few years ago, California tried to issue. They tried to pass a bill saying that if you moved out of the state of California, you still had to pay income tax for, I think it was 3 or 4 years. That's not how this works. Also, who enforces that? You can't, if I move out of your state, you can't enforce your state's laws on me unless I've committed a crime in that state. You can't say I owe taxes. That would be like Pennsylvania saying, because I drove through Harrisburg, I now owe taxes. I now owe income tax for the whole year. Like, I didn't live there. I don't owe you shit. I visited. I don't understand where Tennessee is getting this ability to claim that they're owed sales tax on a car that was never titled or registered in the state of Tennessee. That just does not make sense to me. It's really like, it seems really corrupt, man. And it does seem like Cody said, they're going to try to make an example out of him. Because think of how many famous people live in Tennessee. Think of how many famous people live near Tennessee and spend a lot of time in Tennessee. Think of how many famous people use these asset management firms and get out of paying taxes, which, hey, we all would if we could. If there's a legal way to not pay taxes, which is exactly what he did, it's a legal way to not have to pay taxes on the car. Is it a little shady? Yeah, probably, just a wee bit. However, based. Taxation, at the end of the day, is theft. If I give you $100, that's a gift. That is doing a good deed. If the government says, give that man $100 or I'm going to lock you in a box and if you try to fight me, I'm going to kill you, all of a sudden, my good deed doesn't seem quite so good, now does it? No. My problem with taxation is it's enforced at the barrel of a gun. The state has a monopoly on violence. You'll never win against the state. The state always wins. If you tried to fight the state of Tennessee, physically fight them, you're going to lose. They're going to bring in the state police. They're going to bring in the National Guard. You're not going to stand a chance. So essentially, you have two options. Option one, get the fuck out of Tennessee. Option two, bend over and bite the pillow. I don't know what to say beyond, again, I apologize. I was wrong. I hope this goes the exact opposite way of how I would initially wanted it to go. I was wrong. That's all there is to it. I should have waited until he put out a statement, and going forward, that's probably something I will do. Dan Bongino has what's called the Bongino rule. Wait 72 hours, and this has been a little bit more than 72 hours, but I probably should have waited because I didn't find anything saying that the car was owned through an asset management firm. So I'm thinking he bought the car and probably didn't pay taxes on it. I'm thinking, they got him, hook, line, and sinker. He didn't want to pay taxes. After seeing, especially this video that we just talked about, with the level of maturity he approached it with for what his normal content is, I will still say, I don't like his content. I'm not a fan of his content. However, I do respect him for sitting down and saying, basically, man to man, here's what happened, and I'm not standing for it. I respect that. I respect someone who will stand up for their morals, who will say, this is wrong, I'm not doing it, we're not playing this game. I respect that. And because of that, I will say that I don't like his content. I don't like his persona. However, I do respect Cody now. So that being said, I'm going to leave it there. massive respect for standing up for yourself, standing up for everyone who does this, because it's a legal thing to do. Massive respect. I hope it goes well. I hope the state of Tennessee gets fucked hard. I hope they get impaled on a massive dick. Because at the end of the day, taxation is theft. Taxation is wrong. Taxation is not something we should be enforcing at the barrel of a gun. Good deeds don't need enforced. If I want to give money to the church, if I want to give money to the state, I can make donations. Good deeds don't need a barrel to enforce them. That being said, I'm going to leave it there. Once again, I do apologize. I was really wrong. I let my bias get the better of me, and yeah, it was petty, and I should have at least looked into it a little bit better before I made a video saying the things that I said, especially that I hoped that he would get the book thrown at him. Yeah, now it's completely the opposite. I really kind of looked at him as a real arrogant dick, and after seeing the respectful side of him, the responsible, the adult side of him, yeah. There's still things I do believe. I still think he's daddy's money. I still think he's a little bit of a shit, at least on camera. However, I think that the man beneath, the man that immediately took care of his family and got his soon-to-be wife out of not just the state, but out of the country so that she can't get wrapped up in this. The things that the way he handled it, yeah, I'm on board with that. I respect it. So you got my support, Cody. I hope this goes well for you. And maybe we can go back to me hating you in a year or two, and I can talk shit again. But for the meantime, yeah, I'm not going to be talking shit. And I do apologize, and I take it back. And I hope that if you do ever see this, I hope you accept my apology. If not, totally fine. You don't owe me anything. You could tell me to go fuck myself, and I totally would deserve it. But yeah, I definitely was wrong. So I hope you all enjoyed. That's all I got.